Whales, dolphins, bird life, and some interesting seismology. What's not to like? This is Kaikōura. We're in Kaikōura. It's a small town on the east coast of the South Island, between the mountains and the Pacific. Kaikōura, like many Maori place names, is a compound word. The first part, kai, means food, or a meal, or to cook a meal. The second part, kaura, means crayfish. So the place name literally is a meal of crayfish. It's like you'd call an English town by the sea Codsville. That's interesting. Well, there's more to it. It has a long-form name as well, passed on through the oral history. Te ahi Kaikōura a Tamakitarangi. So let's unpick that. Te is the, ahi is fire. Kaikōura we already know. Tamakitarangi is a person's name. So if you take those components, put them in a more English order, this is the place where Tamakitarangi built a fire to cook crayfish. That's really interesting. Crayfish are so significant to this place that the name stuck through the generations. Well, there is something unusual about the sea here, and the Maori, being seafaring people, they noticed it, as you would expect. But to understand what's going on, we need to talk geology. Near the east coast of New Zealand, the Pacific plate is subducting under the Australian plate. This is creating what's called the Hikurangi subduction zone. It's a very deep marine trench, 2,000–3,000 metres. It gives rise to an incredibly rich marine ecosystem, but it also holds a darker secret. In November 2016, there was a major earthquake in this area. It began about 60 kilometres southwest of here, near a place named Kelvedon. 25 faults ruptured, passing through the town and continuing all the way out to the Hikurangi. The entire town of Kaikōura was lifted by about 70 centimetres. These rocks, they didn't used to be visible, they were below the surface of the sea. Now the seismologists tell us that wasn't even the worst case scenario, and because it's a marine fault, there's a major tsunami risk as well. That is one of the greatest seismic hazards that faces New Zealand. But enough about earthquakes. We've come to South Bay in Kaikōura. There is an offshoot of the Hikurangi Trench called the Kaikōura Canyon. It's 1,000 metres deep and it comes to within a kilometre of the shore, and it's just a few k's down the coast behind me. The canyon has got this really complex system of currents, and that's why there's so much sea life here. You don't normally find whales so close to shore. Well, we've got multiple species of whales, dolphin, seal, squid, and so on down the food chain. Some of those species the humans quite like to eat. Now, unfortunately, in the 1840s, the Westerners noticed the whales and built a whaling station. The family that ran the whaling station even used whalebone as a building material. Yeah, the humans did their thing. The whales, the crayfish and other species declined. In the 1920s, the old whaling station behind me was no longer commercially viable, and so it was abandoned. Since the last whale catch in these waters, the whales and the other species have returned. And so in the 1980s, we saw the first tourist boat trip to go and see the whales. There are aerial tours as well these days. So there is still money to be made from the whales, but it's a bit more environmentally friendly these days. If you'd like to visit Kaikōura, it's about halfway between Christchurch and Picton, about 2.5 hours by road. Whale watching is the main tourist activity in Kaikōura. You can also go for walks, check out the seals, and it's a quiet place to get away from the city.